We have a topic called pricing model, EC2 pricing model. So pricing is an important factor to consider when selecting a service provider in the marketplace. Like, should I go for AWS service provider, Azure, GCP, IBM? Where should I host my server? Which service provider I should opt? That will be decided based on their support, their charges, correct? So if you want to go for the mobile phone with the service provider, either you will go for here in India, you will go with the Airtel or Vodafone or Reliance, correct? So depending upon their charges, correct? The same way here also. So the customer will always try to choose the lowest price, correct? So the same thing. So in general, the more EC2 resources you use, the more you pay. That is what we understood, right? The cloud works on pay as you go approach. The more you consume, the more you pay. It is like consuming your, it is like your utility services. So the charges that you pay to use specific resource can vary depending on the EC2 type, the pricing model that you choose. So in the previous slide, we had seen there are a couple of family types are available: general purpose, compute optimized, memory optimized, storage optimized, GPU instances. So whichever the type of machine that you select, based on that, the pricing also differs, because each machine comes with its own hardware specification, correct? So based on that. So all cloud service models, that is IaaS, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or software as a service, have 4 EC2 pricing options are available: on-demand instances, spot instances, reserved instances, and dedicated instances. So what are all they? What is on-demand instance? What is spot instance? Let us try to explore further. Let us go deep into it. So on-demand instance pricing is also called as a savings plan. This is the most fundamental type of EC2 pricing. So you will have immediate access to compute, memory, and storage as you require if you choose this pricing model. So this is the pricing model that is selected by default when you create an EC2 instance. When we are creating a virtual machine, let it be Linux or Windows based, by default, this is the pricing plan that picks up. So what are the advantages here? So on-demand instances, users pay for compute capacity by the hour or second. Usually it is charged minimum of 60 seconds. That means if you create a virtual machine, you decommissioned or deleted in the next 20 minutes, you are charged only for that 20 minutes. Okay, so with no long-term commitments. So users have full control over its life cycle. So as a user, you decide when to launch, stop, hibernate, start, reboot, or terminate the virtual machine. That is what we did, right? During our lab exercises, we used to create a virtual machine, host our web server, do some R&D, and delete it spontaneously, correct? So there is no long-term commitment from a user like you and me. We just created, we want to learn, we explored the lab, we deleted. That means there is no long-term commitment. This is the best advantage of on-demand instance pricing. So once again, please be noted, the virtual machines, what we create, this is the default pricing model. It is selected. So suppose you want to change the plan, yes, of course, you can do it. So next we have spot instance pricing. Spot instances can offer significant savings on EC2 costs. Discounts can be as high as 90% off comparable to on-demand pricing. So the previous pricing model, what we had seen, compared to that, we will get up to 90% discount. So these are discounts on unutilized compute capacity available in Amazon data centers. So spot instances allow you to request unused EC2 instances at a significant discount. Spot price is the hourly price of a spot instance. So what does that mean? Unutilized compute capacity. Now, let us take for an example. You are creating a virtual machine. You want to create a virtual machine. You want to create it in Mumbai region because you belongs to India location. What if Amazon offers, buddy, why can't you create your virtual machine in maybe Uganda, in some African country? Because no person is creating or utilizing their resource. Amazon, they have already invested heavily on that data center, right? No one is utilizing. So Amazon will give an offer. If anyone is using Uganda data center, we will give you up to 90% discount as compared to you creating virtual machine in Mumbai region or Singapore or UK, Ohio region. So definitely that will trick the customer, right? Why not me using Uganda? How does my customers know that where I have hosted my web server, correct? So it doesn't make any difference for me. Okay, let me take that benefit of that discount. That is what it is. So that is what called spot instance pricing. So the most significant advantage of spot instance is the upfront cost savings. On the other hand, spot instance pricing is not a good option for EC2 workloads. Why? We are getting discount. Why it is not a good option? That's because the user has to bid for spot instances in first place. It is not readily available. You will have to bid for it. You will have to compete with other users. So on a sheer luck, yes, you may get it or you may not get it. So based on this, you cannot give a commitment or quotation to your customer stating that, okay, you will save some huge money. So this is the offer. No, you cannot do it. And it is not confirmed that the user will get it. Also, at a very short notice, Amazon may tell saying that all of a sudden in Uganda region, there is a huge demand. Once you have purchased spot instance and you're running your web servers, Amazon may give you a short instance saying that in the next 15 days, your server will be decommissioned. Please move it to different location. Okay, Amazon always have that liberty to take back the offer, what they have offered. So thereby, for a regular business, spot instances may not be the best choice because you tend to lose. You need to have backup. You should be immediately willing to position to different data center. If you're able to do it, yes, you can do it. So usually who will opt for this kind of spot instances? Maybe students, maybe a small startup company who will not have enough capital. They want to leverage the discount part available. Okay, let me take a chance. Let me use it till the day I get this discount. I will use it. If not, then I will move on. At least till such time, I will save some money. Correct. So that is the kind of a business model. So spot instances are something like a prepaid mobile currency as compared to on-demand instances such as mobile postpaid billing option. So in spot instances, so happens you will end up in paying upfront. Okay. So the next pricing model is we have a reserved instance pricing model. So here in the reserved instances, it's another way of getting a discount on Amazon EC2 instance pricing. The difference between the reserved and spot instance is when you select the reserved instance, that particular instance is reserved for you for a particular duration. You will tell Amazon, I'm giving a commitment of next 12 months. I'm using this virtual machine that I have created. Even if I decommission, even if I delete this virtual machine, I still pay you the next 12 months fee. That is what the commitment. What happens in case of our on-demand instance, the savings plan, the very first instance here, what we were talking about, here you're not giving any commitment. You created the virtual machine, you used it, in the next 5 minutes, you may be able to delete it, correct? Whereas in case of reserved instances, here you are giving a commitment. Okay, I'm committed to use for next 6 months, 1 year, whatever is the duration. So thereby Amazon will treat you as a loyal customer and they give you discount. The discounts can go up to 75% compared to on-demand instance pricing model. It may not, they may not be able to match 90% because 90% they are providing for spot instances. That space is not utilized. Whereas here, the reserved instances, they are able to offer you in any region of your choice. because you're giving a commitment and Amazon is giving you those steep discounts. So reserved instances, on the other hand, are more convenient and predictable than spot instance because you don't have to spend time bidding on the reserved instances or predicting when price will be lower. So when you buy a reserved instance, you get guaranteed access to EC2 resources at a fixed cost. Here, with reserved instances, Amazon will give you three different ways options for making payments. You can choose to pay all upfront, partial upfront, or no upfront. What does that mean? All upfront means you will give a commitment of using this reserved instance virtual machine for the next 12 months. You will tell, okay, I will pay the 12 months fee charges whatever upfront. How much you will give? Amazon will tell, okay, I will give you 75% discount straight upfront. Suppose you say, okay, I will pay partial upfront. Maybe 50% I will pay. The remaining 50% I will pay every month, like EMI. How much discount I'll get? Amazon may say, okay, I will give you 60% discount because you're not paying complete all upfront. The remaining money you can pay in installments next 6 months. You can also choose, I will not pay any upfront, but I will commit for next 12 months. I will be using these resources and I wish to pay month-on-month basis. Then Amazon may choose to say, okay, I will give you 20% discount. You can get this benefit. You can pay on monthly basis. Why so less discount 20%? Because you're not paying either partial or all upfront. Same time, you're giving a commitment of next 12 months. Amazon need not to search for another customer who will use that particular resource. So you're giving a commitment for longer tenure. So you're getting some good part of that discount. So when you buy reserved instances, the larger the upfront payment, the greater the discount you get. To maximize your savings, pay in full upfront and receive the greatest discounts. So partial upfront payment, return on investment provide lower discounts, but allow you to spend less upfront. So we have one more last pricing model, which is called a dedicated instance or dedicated host. This is like our private network. Okay, so in case of dedicated instances, there are these instances are only used by one single customer at the host hardware level. Your dedicated instances are physically isolated from instances belong to other AWS account. So the physical hardware in the AWS data center, that hardware is allocated only to you. So it is completely dedicated. So the customer has complete control over the server, allowing them to optimize it for their specific needs, such as performance and security. So dedicated host pricing is generally the most expensive type of EC2 pricing model because you have a complete, at hardware level, you have that dedicated host given it to you. However, when used correctly, a dedicated host can save you money. How? Because you have complete access to that physical layer of that server, right? So you can use an existing license key, licensed software, professional software that you can install it on this hardware. Wherein if you go with other traditional pricing model, you will get whatever the operating system. By default, Amazon provides Linux operating system, Windows operating system, and Mac OS they provide. Apart from that, if you have some other operating system, maybe say, for example, you have Unix, you want to use it, or you have your own proprietary software operating system that needs to communicate with the satellites. So those kind of softwares will not be able to use it there because that is a shared resource, correct? So here, this is a complete dedicated hardware. So you can leverage that. So these are all the 4 pricing models that are available. Let us try to explore in a practical way how to implement and how to get noticed what are all the charges that we get. If we select partial upfront or full upfront, how the pricing will change. Let us explore that through a live in a live scenario. So that we can approach, that we can explore through pricing calculator. AWS Amazon provides a service called pricing calculator. This is completely free. So this lets you explore AWS services and create an estimate for the cost of your use cases on AWS. So you can model your solutions before even building them, explore the price points and calculations behind your estimate, and find the available instance type and contract terms that meet your needs. So this enables you to make informed decisions about using AWS. So you can plan your AWS costs and usage, or price out the setting up new set of instances or the services. So here you can model your solutions even before building them. These are all the greatest advantages that is available. So the calculation behind also gives the estimation what exactly the charges that you need to be prepared to pay. So we will explore this in a live scenario. I will provide you this link. Maybe even you can open this link. I will give it in chat. This link is also provided in the description so that you can launch this service and check how it works. Okay, let us explore that. So this is a service, AWS pricing calculator. So I'll be creating an estimate. Let us take a scenario now. Okay, let us say you and me, we are a solution architects working in XYZ company, and our company has got a client. This client comes to us and says, okay, he has a requirement of building a web server. Okay, and as a service provider, we will ask this client, okay, what is your requirement? You're saying you want to build a web server. Okay, what is the requirement? He thinks he's a layman. He do not understand the technology. He will tell, okay, my server should have minimum 2 GB of RAM, about 1 terabyte of hard disk, and he will give some ref specification. Okay, and he will tell, okay, my server should be in maybe US region. I don't want it here in India. He thinks that maybe US region is working fast, and he will have he can tell that his server is in US, something like that. Okay, so based on that, we will create an estimation for him. He is asking for 1 TB hard disk, right? And we will ask, okay, what is the operating system that you want in your server? He is very much comfortable using Windows in his laptop or desktop. He will tell, okay, let me go for, let me have Windows operating system. I don't want Linux. Why should I use Linux, which I do not know how to use it? Please remember, at the end of the day, as a service provider, it is you or me who are providing the service support to this customer. This customer will not log into the virtual machine. He will not install any applications of it. He will not manage anything. All he does is he will log into this web server through his web browser. He will check whatever is the things that is needed, correct? So we will make this customer client sit side by side, and we will create an estimate. So here you can see there are so many different services that are available in AWS. For any of these services, you can pick and you can do the estimation. In our case, since we want to build a virtual machine, we will straight away go to Amazon EC2. Okay, we will configure a virtual machine and we will check how much it will cost. So remember, we are building a very, very base web server that do not need more than 30 GB of free storage space, what Amazon provides. But still, because the customer has asked for 1 terabyte of hard disk storage, okay, we will do and we will give the estimation. Okay, so this particular EC2 instance, what we have selected, it has got a monthly cost of $64.54 US. It is the barest minimum charge for this location, US East Ohio region. So we will select the advanced estimation feature so that we'll be able to touch upon minute details. Okay, to begin with, the client said he wants Windows operating system. Okay, I will select Windows Server. And next comes the instances. How many virtual machines he want to run? Only one. Okay, maybe we can go for one more standby. If the primary virtual machine goes down, maybe the secondary virtual machine will take over. We'll say, okay, 2 virtual machines we will go. And here you can see what are all the instance, which type of instance you want, whether you want 0.5 gigabyte of memory, 1 virtual CPU, whatever. The client is very fascinating. He says, no, 5.5 GB. No, it's too less. Let me go for at least 2 gigabytes of RAM. We'll say, okay, we will select. All right. So we are going with the 2 gigabytes of RAM and 1 virtual CPU. So further, instance savings plan. Do you see this? This is what we have discussed. Whether you want to, this is the default pricing model that selects EC2 instance pricing model. Suppose you want to go for on-demand reserved, all reserved, spot instances. So you can pick whichever you want. But we'll go with EC2 instance for our lab exercise, for today's lab exercise. And reservation option, here you can see this is what we were discussing, whether you want to go with 1 year with no upfront. Here we have selected no upfront, and the total monthly cost will be $34.46. Same time, for the same configuration what we have selected, if you select partial upfront, maybe 50% you will pay upfront and the remaining you will pay it in monthly installments, you will end up in paying $16.64. Same time, if you select all upfront, you will pay for annually, you will pay $395.95. Of course, there is no monthly charges because you paid everything upfront. Here you can see the monthly charges alone will be 52 USD. Correct? So if you pay all upfront, you will save significantly. You will save a lot of money. Same time here we have 3 years commitment. You can go accordingly, the pricing will vary. So for our just to understanding, let us go with 1 year, no upfront cost. Okay, so what are all the other specifications? The storage. The customer client was saying he want 1 TB hard disk, right? That is 1,000 gigabyte of hard disk space. Okay, we will go ahead. We'll go with 1 TB, that is 1 GB of hard disk storage. With this barest configuration, what we have picked up, let us see how much, what will be our charges. Okay, so here we can see the storage alone comes to $308 per month because we have selected 1 TB hard drive and 2 virtual machines. From both the virtual machines, per month cost is $308 only for the storage, only for that hard drive. And monthly savings plan for the virtual machine with that configuration with 2 gigabytes of RAM with 1 virtual CPU, it comes to $34.46. So the monthly cost comes to $343 for this customer. Okay, so the conversion rate, if you go with, it comes to somewhere, how much? Let me check. I'll calculate a $344 conversion rate is around 80 USD. So it works out to around 27,520 INR per month for this customer. And the client immediately says, oh my God, no, it's too costly. I want to reduce. Please do something. And then we will start educating the customer. Okay, let us see what are all the requirements. You're saying you want to build a web server. All right. And why do you need Ohio region? Why can't we change? Correct? We can change the region as well. If we select maybe Africa, Cape Town, let us see how much it comes to. The price is increased. Okay, the price had gone up. So maybe Africa, Cape Town has got more demand. If you go for Mumbai region, okay, the Mumbai region is a 349 USD, wherein still it is costly. Earlier, our calculation was 344 USD. Okay, let us go with Mumbai region only. We don't want to have it in a faraway location. And then next comes the operating system. We will ask the client, why are you specific about Windows operating system? Is it you who is going to manage its operating system, the server? No, right? You are giving the total responsibility for us as a service provider, and we will manage everything, whatever you want, whether you want to create email account, whether you want to do the DNS transfer, whatever, correct? So client will tell, okay, your choice, you pick whatever is a workable solution. And let me select the Linux operating system. Just see the difference, how the pricing is going to reduce, because Linux operating system is completely free. From 348, it came to 339. So that extra charge that was levied on us was only for the operating system alone. Okay. Next, further, let us try to reduce the pricing. We will ask, why do you need two virtual machines? You have just a bare web server. There is no much traffic, and there are no many number of visitors visiting your website. You just want to have a website, correct? Why do you want to go for two instances? Better go for one instance. Okay, he will tell, okay, let me go with one instance. Immediately you can see the pricing reduced by half, correct? Next comes the virtual machine type. Okay, so instead of two virtual CPUs, we will go with maybe T2 Nano that has been already selected. Further, we will go with the storage. Storage, why do you need 1 terabyte of hard drive? What is that? You're going to store it in your hard drive. He'll tell, no, it's just a normal web page. Maybe about 10 to 12 pages, web pages will be there. Then the barest minimum 30 GB storage is more than enough. Why do you need to go for 1 terabyte? So now we can see from 344 or 348 US dollars per month, the pricing came straight away to 10.72 US dollars per month charges. Do you see that? So likewise, you can also see the storage from about 344 something US dollars. Straight away, it came to 1.31 US dollars. This is only for the this is for the virtual machine, and this storage is 9.41 US dollars. So likewise, we can scale up or we can scale down the configuration of the virtual machine. So this is how you will be charged once you complete 750 hours of free tier user account, what we have created. So please be specific. Do not just go and create a virtual machine of a hi-fi virtual machine for a simple web server to host for simple lab practice. So kindly make sure that you select the appropriate one. Here, I just want to show one more small thing. Maybe you want to select a operating system, not just Linux. Maybe you want to create a SQL server. You want to host a database, correct? So we will go with SQL Server Standard Edition. That is Windows operating system with SQL database server will be included. You can see the pricing that changes immediately. Do you see that? So that extra amount what you're paying, it is for the licensed software of SQL Server. That is for 1 month cost. So you should be very, very specific. What is the requirement? What for you are creating this virtual machine? Is it for your own use or for your client? So accordingly, you will have to position the virtual machine. So this is all about the Amazon pricing calculator. With this, we come to the end of the topics, what we have covered: cloud deployment model, EC2 instance of family types, EC2 pricing models, and AWS pricing calculator. So let's move on to the next topic.